All right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Some of you going to catch this later. First of all, I want to say congratulations to our daughter, Dylan Davis. She is graduating. She was walking today at Clark University. So we're excited about that. Me and my wife are so excited about that. You're talking about a tremendous accomplishment. And to our oldest daughter, she has also made an accomplishment. But today we are celebrating. We're celebrating our daughter Dylan, and it's just great. It's just great because though things have slowed down, God is showing us that things are still advancing. So, again, I just want to say congratulations to her and congratulations to my wife. You know, it's an accomplishment when you're able to push your children to their highest accomplishments. And that's all we want to do. And we want to do that with all 8 of our children combined. We want to push them to their highest accomplishments. And some of you this morning, we want to say to you, don't stop. We want to say to you, don't stop. But today, I just had a thought. I'm coming out of my workout, and I'm always thinking about relationship. And I had this woke up to this inbox or this, and the guy didn't say anything specific, but he acted like he had some type of beef, but wouldn't say what the beef was. And I want to say, but the first one thing that happens is the Holy Spirit always can give you discernment about people. And so I went to his profile and checked his profile out, and needless to say, it wasn't nothing. It was really nothing, no conversation that he could have with me, no way, because your profile says a lot about who you are. And I can already tell that this man had I think he wanted to conversate with me in the way that we wasn't fit to conversate, no way, I'm gonna leave that like that. But it took me to a place of how people see you, and especially how people view you when you're here. And I thought about me and my wife's relationship, and I'm thinking about you men, and I want you to click, tag, and share. You men, I want you to tag some of the men in this. I know somebody get this here later on, but the title or the thought that I had is, how will you handle, and I'm talking to men this morning, how will you handle the I love you? How will you handle the I love you? Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Stefanetta. How will you handle the I love you? I think for men, and this was my initial thought with this, even from the guy with the inbox. I think when they see you, or they see you on Facebook, they see you on pictures, they have a perception. Like Stefanetta had in their reality versus perception. That's really good. They have a perception of who you are. But let me tell you something about perception. I love you so much, my wife. I love you so much, Jamila. They have a perception. And what he did say was, he was trying to talk to me one-on-one, but I'm going to just say this like this. Let me make this here clear. I ain't got nothing against men, that have other feeling about men. I'm not about that. I'm not finna get into no whole thing and beat up people about where God has them at or what they're dealing with. But let me say this, boy, I ain't got no interest, boy. Don't even try it. Boy, that ain't the ship. That ain't the ship I'm rocking with. I don't know what made you think it. I don't know what you're seeing, but you got to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? That there will cause me to say something disrespectful to you. But I want to say this, that perception, when people see you, they think they know you because they're watching you on Facebook, or they're watching you by Instagram, or they're watching you by YouTube. And the fact of the matter is, you really can't get a real perception or a real reality of who a person is, because you really don't have evidence to show who they is. When you make a judgment, off the details of the situation, not from what you see. So you really can't see this. And my first perception was this, you know, people are jealous of me and my wife's relationship, but they don't understand the work that we put in. They don't understand what we went through to get there. They're thinking that the perception says that it all came easy. It didn't come easy. Every time we talk about it from the perception of, man, God did this. If you had to put a line on what we have, all we could say is God did this, because we couldn't have done it in our own mind. And so I want to speak to some men today, because some of you are getting ready, and women. Now this applies, but it applies more to the man, because we as men tend to take things a little further, or we tend to misconstrue what we see and what we hear. I want to say this to the men. What are you going to do with the I love you? When me and my wife came together, I could see that we meant something more to each other than our past relationships had ever meant. Now, but this is what some of you do. When you see that, or you see that vulnerability, you want to take that vulnerability and you want to mess it up, or you want to take that vulnerability and you want to use it against them, or you want to use it as some type of strength, or you want to do something evil with it. And what I'm trying to show you, some of you men today, is you're gonna miss out on one of the best presents or gifts that God could ever give you, because you in the past, you acted like a donkey. And soon as you heard that I love you, instead of you saying, Lord, I thank you, you say, I got her. You said, I got her. And you took advantage of it. You went and you did something else with it. Because really, instead of taking accountability and responsibility for the I love you, you went and took advantage of it. And so you getting ready, some of you, and I feel this prophetically, some of you men are getting ready to mess up one of the best relationships you can have, because you're responding to the I love you wrong. Now, instead of hearing it and seeing it to yourself, and I'm going to tell you, the devil is very vindictive. You got to know that you're playing with a real enemy. First of all, he wants to destroy you too. And you got to know that gift, that Eve that you got to treat her like Eve. And that means to treat her like Eve, you got to have a revelation like Adam. Adam said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Hold up. And he said that before there was a holy matrimony. He said that before there was a preacher. He said that before there was a ring, no. He understood that there was something about this other person that looks like me, feels like me, is me. And see, that's when the scripture of Paul comes in and says, what man would hate his own flesh? You know what? You getting ready to mess up. And you finna mess up because you have interpreted the I love you wrong. You took it as some type of strength. You took it as some type of thing to take over with, and you ain't seeing it's a weight that you have to take responsibility for. That's why so many men mess up relationships when you come into them. That's why so many men mess up marriages, because you don't know how to handle I love you. In other words, a lot of you men, you know what you've done to your relationship. You know why? You know why she's so mean? You know why she's so ornery? You know why you can't get those things out of her, those sensitive things, that sensitive nature. You know why you can't get that out of it? Because you done messed it up. And I know some of y'all dudes that y'all looking at me right now, you saying, this old punk A nigga, he in love. Yes. But it's the real type of love. See, listen, some of you, when you look at love, you look at it as a weakness. I see it as a strength. You look at it as a weakness because of the camp you're around, because of the people that you're around. And so you can't see it, or you interpreting it wrong. But if you get it right, you can have the type of love that's a strength. That's why we call ourselves Bonnie and Clyde, because yes, Bonnie and Clyde they was in love with one another, but don't mess with now one of them. It was an inclusive love, and it was spent and it was made for one person. And this morning, I want to ask you men, what are you going to do with the I love you? And some of y'all been married for years and you getting ready to mess your marriage up because you done start getting with these dudes and now you wilding out and because you think you just got it and you don't, man. You don't. You got to take it. You got to take it as a responsibility. I'm responsible for my wife's emotion of love. Dig it. I'm responsible for her emotional intimacy and love. That's my responsibility. I'm responsible for keeping it float. So when she says, she'll say something. She said, you ain't kissed me today. I don't take that, man, let me go ahead on. Man, please. No, she just said something. And if some of you men that are advanced in years, if you would look back on how you messed up, because I don't care what happened, you did some messing up. I don't care what happened. You ain't handled everything right. I don't care what happened. If you look at some of those things, you can become a better you in this relationship because you just not, you ain't even focused on what the other person is because they gone. They history. No, but you focused on who you were at the time, how you built it. You're focused on what your adolescence or how your adolescence or how you handled your adolescence. How were you as a young man? How did you handle relationship as a young man? What were some of your proclivities? What were some of the bad things that you did? How did you handle that? And if you can take some of those weaknesses and capitalize upon your weaknesses, then you can now do something great. You can do something great and you can have something greater than you ever had if you don't do what you did as a young man. Paul says it like this. He says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I acted like a child, but now I'm a man. He says, now I'm advanced. I put away childish things. In other words, I've capitalized off my adolescence. I've capitalized on what I did bad. I capitalized of the way that I ignored things. Because if you be honest, you ignored some things. And so when you got it, so when you heard something, you just said, man, please. I take it serious. You take it serious because you have a plan. And a lot of you men, your relationship is not going to make it because you don't have a plan in the relationship. I plan to be with her forever. I plan to leave this earth with my family around me, with my wife around me, advanced in years when I see Lord, if he don't blow the trumpet first. But I have a plan. Most of you just saying she getting on my nerve. Why is she getting on your nerve? Why? Because she keep asking me this and she keep asking me that and she keep complaining. Well, why is she complaining? Why is she asking you that? The fact of the matter is you might be aged in years, but you lack wisdom. And you lack wisdom because you're not asking the right questions. The right questions is she's saying something, but where is she saying it from? What's the well? Where's the root? Tell me what's the root. And if the root is simply handle my I love you, take responsibility for my emotion. Watch this. And let your woman be emotional. He called them emotional not because they was weak, or he wasn't talking about they're the weaker vessel because they're weak. He called them the weaker vessel because he allows them to yield into themselves and flow out of the emotions that God gave them. Not for you to handle it in any kind of way. And so what are you going to do? And some of you in some new relationships, and that woman done told you she loved you. And now you done stuck your chest out. Wrong move. Wrong move. Now you feel like you got it. Wrong move. Wrong move. Can I tell you something? Sex don't keep nobody. I'm just saying to some of y'all. You better catch this. Sex don't keep nobody. Money don't keep nobody. That stuff don't keep nobody. Let me tell you something what keeps people. Heart to heart. Especially when you have experienced life and you have experienced brokenness. And some of you men, you know what your problem is? Somebody broke your heart and you don't know how to come back out of it. And so you go into another relationship and you won't even tell the other person that you suffered a broken hearts because you want to stay in your pride. And so you go into this thing, and then when they say I love you, you just say, you ain't finna, you gonna do something different. Yeah. You have to do something different. How are you going to handle this woman saying she loves you, man? You can say it again. You can say this OP nigga, this OPA nigga. He talking about, yeah, if she was like, no, you can't compare. I know who y'all see, but who y'all see is not who me and my wife are. We are totally different people than what y'all see. It's much more deeper than that. And that means that what you can have is much more deeper than that if you can get there. And so you got to share this. You got to, and when I say share this, I ain't just talking about the video, but you got to talk to one another and you got to see what the complaint is about. If you get a chance, because I'm going to tell you something. It's always somebody waiting in the wings to take what you got. It's always somebody that want what you got. It's always somebody willing to take, man or woman. It's always somebody that feel like they can take care of what you got better than what you can. And in some cases, they can. But I will tell you this, if you're listening to this, then this is a chance to change directions. This is a chance to do when you're getting ready to speed onto a highway and you see a sign and that sign say yield. That sign say yield because it says, now take your time getting on this highway and look out. And what I'm telling you is I'm giving you a yield today. I'm telling you, man, take your time because you finna mess up and you finna handle this. Listen, there is no pimps in a real relationship. There is no players. They're only losers. They're only losers. There ain't no pimps. There ain't no players in a real relationship. When you find something real, they're only losers. And somebody gonna lose. And I feel this even for some of you women out there, because some of you have came to a place that you have been hurt so many times to now you play with men like that. And I'm gonna tell you, there ain't no pimps. There ain't no players. They're only losers. The one thing that I don't want to do, and I don't know about none of y'all and some of y'all men, is I don't want to die by myself. It was me and my wife, I don't know, we was coming up the highway. We travel a lot. And I think the guy was Rob. I can't, baby, what's his name? The rapper that died, Rob something. He was on P. Diddy label. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And the man died by himself. He ain't have no wife, but no children around. And some of y'all brothers, y'all don't understand. Y'all thinking you finna stay like you, and you, really? And you got this good woman, and you finna mess it up because some woman done put her booty together, done had some surgery on her tail, and pulling your eyes. And some of the reason, and I don't mean this against no ladies, but some of them women, they don't want to do nothing but destroy what you got. Black Rob. Thank you, Jeff. And so you let your eyes wander, and I just check people out. I check people out. And I was in the airport yesterday and I'm looking at this dude. He walking up with his wife. I seen him. He walking up with his wife. His wife said, hold her bag. And she went in the bathroom. I'm sitting there. The lady walk out the bathroom. He can't keep his eyes off her tail. That's a problem. Because you give yourself room to error. I'm going to tell you something, boy. I ain't going to die by myself. No. I'm going to have a good report. Watch this, because some of y'all want to have, I'm going to have a good report from God. I'm going to have a good report from my wife. I'm going to have a good report from my children, because this is what I want to do. Because I'm doing the right thing with the I love you. When my son say I love you, I got to do what's right by him. My daughter say I love you, I got to do what's right by him. When my wife says I love you, I'm accountable. I don't care how she spaz, she's mine. So whenever she say, but you ain't kiss me. Oh, we gonna handle that. What we need to do. Because when I was a child, I acted like a child. I thought like a child. When I was a child, huh? I was listening to Andre 3000 when I was a child. When you was a child, you did a lot of childish things. You had a lot of childish stuff in your mind. But I'm a man now. And a man knows what he is supposed to do. And if some of you men be honest, man, you ain't handling no relationship like no man. You handle that relationship like a boy. And so you can't hear what she's saying because you done handled that I love you wrong. You in your mind say she ain't going nowhere. Okay, she may not, but you can have death in the relationship and y'all be in the same room. You can have death in the relationship and y'all be at the same house. And not, I refuse not to be happy. And some of y'all problems is you have forgotten. You say, I'm going to just settle for somebody being with me, not being happy. The devil is a liar. You know, too many men, and I'm getting ready to go. Don't, and this is not something that I'm saying bad about Black Rob. Please don't take it like that. Much respect for everything that the man done. But the report says that he was by himself. We never know what life gonna bring us. If you have the chance to love a woman, and I know what that means, man. That means that some of you men, you gotta be vulnerable. And you don't wanna be vulnerable because you don't wanna be hurt again or whatever. But that's the thing about love. Love is vulnerability. And if you don't open up, no one can ever really feel you. That's what vulnerability is. That's what love is. And you say, well, I don't want to take that chance. Well, if you don't take that chance, you'll never see what it really is. I'm not saying be stupid. I'm saying if you see and you get the evidence. My wife, we always talk about when we first came together. When we first started talking from our first conversation, she knew I wasn't playing. She knew what my intentions was. And most times you can tell a person's intentions is by seeing what's in the background, by checking it out. And so you got to do something different. And this is why I'm specifically speaking to the men today. Yeah, some of you women, y'all got some player problems. And you can get in the man you want to, but you too gonna die alone. Because at some point you pass the person that you're supposed to be with because you handled them wrong. And you called the man soft. You called the man soft. And then somebody else got your Adam because you wasn't ready for him. Do something different. Man, I'm getting ready to go. You need to do something different with the I love you. Yes, the Bible says that, and this is for the men, the ways of a woman is never known. You know why it says that? Because a woman is a mystery. She's a mother of all things. So she'll forever be a mystery. And a mystery that a man is supposed to, in his life, because he loves her, walk in the path to interpret how and what she's doing. So that he can guide, lead, protect, provide, but still be the intimate man he needs to be with her. I just said a mouthful. But that's because it takes a lifetime to do it. This Pastor Fred, this God's man on deck. What are you going to do with the I love you? I'll be in Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana. The conference, it's called She Wants to Call You Lord. I want to speak to you men about that. I want to speak to you men about that. Some of you ladies, get right. Get right. You don't find Adam doing surgeries and becoming this person that you don't even know. It is the heart that your true Adam will find you. He that findeth, it is your heart. If he finds you by your tail and your backside, those things, we get old and we diminish. At some point, it will only be your mind. All right. This is Pastor Fred, God's Man on Deck. I'll be in Monroe, Louisiana, June 12th. And then July 9th and 10th, we'll have our first men's conference at UCI at our new facility. I want all of us to be better. To whoever you dudes, you can see me how you see me. Dude talking about I want to talk to you man to man. Nah, he really want to talk to me man to man. Let me tell you something, man. I don't care how y'all cats see me, man. You better take what's real if you want to live. You better hear what's real. All that street stuff be out the door. You better learn from somebody that has made mistakes in his life and now is willing to share even the intimate dark sides of himself so that you'll be better. Yeah, I got a crazy love for my wife. Don't test it. But I got it because I was able to give it to her. She was a person that could handle it and she wasn't going to abuse it. So yeah, I gave it to her and then she gave me hers. Can you give yourself to a person, or will you only give 75% of yourself? All right, I'm gone until we meet again. Now listen, I'm gonna be doing God's Man on Deck, but the way that we move, I need you to set your notifications. Set your notifications so you'll catch them. Because the way that I move, it's really hard for me to hit it on Thursdays at 7. So you know what? I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna hit you in moments just like this. All right? Love you guys. Men, let's do it better. Go get some roses. Go get a new ring. Go get some perfume. Or do something different. Remember what just made her happy. And go take a walk. Do something different. Get from around all them hard legs all the time. If you around men all the time, I don't mind hanging out with the brothers. But I ain't finna be hanging out with them like that. Do something different today, Saturday. All right? Peace.